DeRozier and student athlete Savannah Harmon. Fairly low key this afternoon. We will start with an opening statement and then go right into questions. So go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, fairly low key today. I think it's just the players trying to prepare themselves as best as possible for what should be an exciting game tomorrow.
Joe?
Okay. How would you guys describe this rivalry?
It's been great, to be honest with you, this season. We've had some fantastic games against them. We've met in some big moments during the season as well. The games that we have played have been high tempo, just really exciting games. A lot of things have happened in those games, and we're looking forward to another good one tomorrow.
How about you, Savannah?
Yeah, just a lot of fun, I think, is the first thing that comes to mind. Definitely always a good game, like Coach said. Both teams come to work and you get really excited to play each other, especially with the history and the amount of times we've already played so far this season. So I think just it's going to be exciting.
Does it, we've seen a lot of East versus West matchups in the final. Does it help to have familiarity with the opponent?
I think a little bit, yeah. We've seen each other a few times the last month or so, so obviously that familiarity can help you in some ways. But at the same time, it's a one game for all the marbles. Anything can happen. You don't want to focus on what happened previously in the season within those games. It's a totally new game, and that's what we have to focus on.
Savannah, I was going to ask you, when Clarkson beat Minnesota in 2014, you were probably on your way through the ranks. I don't know if you'd already committed.
I was actually at the game, yep, and I had already been committed, yep, and I was there in the stands.
I was just going to see what kind of impact that had on just your decision and.
Yep. So at that time, I was already committed. I was living in Boston, playing for the Boston Shamrocks. So I was honestly maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So I went to the semifinal game, and then I came back on Sunday for the championship game. And I think it was just super exciting. You knew the program that year was playing well all year, and the previous years that led them up to that situation. But just to be able to witness it and be in the stands and be excited knowing in a couple months I was going to be going there and being able to put on a Clarkson jersey was just super exciting.
And man, I know you guys have been building the program, and it doesn't necessarily take a win like that to do anything special, but what did it do, in terms of what you guys were building?
Yeah, I think it put an exclamation point on what we were doing. A little bit of satisfaction that the things that we were trying to instill in our players and our program were benefiting us, and we were getting results from it. Obviously it made a name for Clarkson, I would say. Prior to that, probably not a lot of people in the hockey world knew who Clarkson was. We were a small school in upstate New York. We weren't a big hockey power prior to that. So I think that helped kind of put our name on the map a little bit and put our name out there.
Did it help recruiting? Did it open other doors?
I think it did a little bit, yeah. Like I said, kind of along the same lines. I think it just allowed people to know who we are when we were out there on the recruiting trails. And talking about Clarkson, they knew that we had won a national championship, and it just kind of put our names out there a little bit more, I would say.
Anybody?
Good. Any other questions?
Just, they asked a good one earlier too, just after such a long overtime game, how did you approach the off day here today in terms of recovery or versus holding a full-blown practice and all that?
Yeah, we've actually taken the same approach today as we have in the past. It's all about rest, recovery, relaxation, not only for the body but for the minds as well. I think it was good to get to the rink here and just kind of loosen up a little bit, but not really have to focus on getting on the ice and going through a practice. And that's what we've done in the past, and it's kind of worked for us in the past, so hopefully it works for us again.
Savannah, you sounded like you went to the 2014 game as more of a fan, and then last year you were part of it. What is it about the way that Clarkson can get ready for this moment?
There's so much, I guess, there's so much that goes into it, and I guess you wouldn't just put it all on this weekend. This is something, we've been working for all year. So I think just, being able to get here, and once you're here, doing the best you can, like Coach said, just making sure we're just prepping ourselves. Obviously we went into overtime, so just taking care of ourselves today, relax, and figure out whatever we need to do. If people need to get treatments, and, do whatever I can just to make sure we're ready to go tomorrow.
Did you guys stay in the arena last night and watch their game, or were you already back at your hotel?
I think the players, we allowed them time to see their family and that and get a good cool down afterwards. I think a few of them stayed and watched for a little bit, but then we had a bus at a certain time that took them back to the hotel because we wanted to make sure that they were getting their rest and the recovery side of things and meals in them and everything. Coaching staff stayed for the long haul to watch the game. But yeah, it was an exciting game, that's for sure.
Savannah, did you know the result before you went to bed?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We were following along with it.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys were.
Yeah.
Any final questions? Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks to both of you.
Thanks, guys.